Very good morning and welcome in the next video lecture of radar and TV engineering. Today we are going to discuss about the picture tube and the color TV systems. In the last lecture we have already discussed the color camera tubes, picture tubes, and color television systems, luminous and other signals, prominence signals, types of the color picture tubes. We have already discussed these topics, and now we are going to discuss about the uh, picture tubes. Types of picture tubes we have already discussed in the last lecture. Apart of this, today we are going to discuss about the basic of color TV system, that is the NTSC system, PAL system, and CCAM system. The main content of this video lecture is the understanding of the picture tubes, types of the picture tube, construction, working principle, and the color picture tubes and color TV system. In the color TV system, we will discuss about the PAL system, NTSC, and CCAM system. The main objective of this video lecture is to understand the basic fundamental of the picture tubes, standard color televisions standards. Student will also learn the color TV system. The outcomes of this video lecture that the student will understand the concept of picture tube. Student will also learn type of the color TV system. So these are the textbooks. First is the monochrome and the color television, second edition by R.R. Gulati, 2015 New Age publication. And references are the TV and Video Engineers, first edition by T. Jackson, J.B. Townsend, first year 1991. Michelle Robin and the Michelle Pauline, Digital Television Fundamental, McGraw-Hill. Bernard Groves and the Charles E. Non Basic Television Review Systems. Introduction to the radar systems, McGraw-Hill, Kogelshah Limited. Now we have types of the color picture tube. We have already discussed these types of picture tube, but now we are going again to discussing that the picture tubes type. The delta gun picture tubes. Second one is the precision inline or gun inline picture tube. Third is the trinitron picture tube. Three tubes of picture tubes are so we'll discuss one by one in the next section. This screen of color picture tube is coated with three different color phosphor. However, the three color phosphor are the separated from each other separately or physically. So the construction working principle of the delta gun picture tube. So we will understand the concept of the delta gun picture tube through this figure. So we have a delta guns, that is the red, green, and blue. We have a three delta guns. So electron beam is produced by the three guns, and these beams is passed through the mask, shadow mask that is having a round apertures in the mask, and dot tried screen. So dot tried screen having a some round shape apertures, and it forms a triad on the screen. And electron guns are 180-degree apart from each others, and tube neck is round. So this type of the arrangement in the gun type picture tubes, delta gun picture type tubes, we have a cathodes and color phosphor screen through which the electrons is converted into the picture. So three different color signal is applied, voltage is applied on that. G1, G2, G3 is the control grid, sprint grids, and the focus grid. And the deflection in the convergence coil. Now, delta gun picture tubes. In the delta gun picture tubes, the Radio Corporation of America developed this tube arranged in the delta shape. The main section is the electron gun, consists of 3 electron guns spaced equally at 120 mean and shadow mark section. So each color gun has the spacing 120 degree and shadow mark section. Working principle: the video signals corresponding to the each primary colors are given to the 3 electron gun. The axis of the even electrons beam are adjusted by the purity magnet, and during this time the other triode are by the mask. The overall color depends upon the phosphor which are being analyzed and the intensity of the each beam. Red and green beams are on screen become yellow. The drawback of the delta gun tubes, the convergence is the difficult. Focus cannot be sharp over the entire screen. Electron transparency of the mask. Trinitrons color picture tube. In the next section, we have a trinitron color picture tubes. That is the second type of the picture tube. This type of the picture tubes was developed by the Sony Corporation of Japan. Previous delta gun was developed by the American companies, and trinitron color picture tube is developed by the Sony Corporation of Japan. That is, Sony is the company which generate or manufacture the trinitron color picture tubes. These tubes are having a single gun with 3 in-line cathode. See here, the picture tube consisting of 3 gun cathode in a line, in a single gun with 3 in-line cathodes. So we have a single gun, 3 in-line cathodes, electron beams, and aperture grill mask. And again, we have a vertical stripped 3 color phosphor screen. So tube neck, cathode in line, 3 gun in line with the single cathode. So this is the arrangement of the trinitron picture tube. So this type of arrangement is used by the Sony Corporation of the Japan. So this is the mechanism or principal diagram, how the beam is or image is produced on the phosphor screen. 3 cathode in a line, that is the BCR, blue, green, and red, and G1, G2. G1, G2 is the our grids, and the focusing arrangement is available in the magnetic focusing, and convergence plates and aperture mask, that is the grill phosphor screen, VCR. Electron gun section. Here, there is only 1 electron gun, but with 3 cathode for each primary color, screen, and mask construction. The outer plates are supplied with the above 450 volt less than the final anode voltage. 4 convergence plates are used. Since green beam is in center, it passes through the center plate. but red and blue beams pass between other plates. Since the center plate are the connected internally to the final anode, zero potential is found between these plates, so green beam is not affected by the convergence voltage. Advantage is construction is simple, brightness is more. Now we have a automatic degassing. Automatic degassing is a mechanism in the picture tubes. It is shown by this circuit. Degassing means the demagnetizing. It is the process of the removal of the magnetic flux from magnetized parts in TV, steel chassis, and internal frames that holds mass are subject to induced magnetization whenever the picture tube is switched off. These induced magnetic fields can affect the electron beam path and reduce the errors in the color purity. To prevent such effect, picture tubes are magnetically shielded. For this, a thin silicon steel is housed around belt of tube. Okay. Mass structure and shield material have non-zero retentivity, and so they get weakly magnetized by the magnetic field of the earth. Automatic degassing circuit is shown when the receiver is switched on. A strong main current passes through the degassing coil. After a few seconds, this current is dropped to the very low level. In the next section, after discussing the color picture tubes, that is the delta color picture tube and trinitron color picture tube, now we have color TV standard, which is followed by different countries. So we now discussing the three colors TV standard developed are. First is the NTSC National Television System Committee, PAL Phase Alteration by Line, and third one is the SECAM Sequential Color Memories System. So we will discuss one by one in the next section. The compatible to American, European, and the French monochrome systems respectively. NTSC system, the full form of this NTSC system is the National Television System Committee. So used by the USA or in the USA and most of the American countries, compatible with the 525 line monochrome system. So NTSC system use 525 lines monochrome system. Channel bandwidth should not exceed the 6 megahertz. Advantage is the taken of that fact that the eyes resolution of the colors along the reddish blue, yellowish green or color circle is much less than those lie around the yellowish red greenish blue axis. So in the NTSC system, we have a total 525 line and the bandwidth of the channel is less than 6 megahertz. uses two new color signals I and Q derived from R minus Y and B minus Y. So I equal to the 0.74 R minus Y minus 0.27 B minus Y, or I equal to the 0.60 R minus 0.28 G minus 0.32 B. So I and Q, signal is developed, that is Q is equal to the 0.48 into R minus Y plus 0.41 B minus Y, or we can say that Q equal to the 0.21 R minus 0.52 Z plus 0.31 B. This is the NTSC carrier phasor diagrams. So I and Q, two signal is developed, and these signals are at 30 degree, 3 degree from the 0 and 57 degree respectively from 0. So this is the phasor diagram. NTSC carriers between the bandwidth requirement, the I signal. Human eye is the most sensitive to the colors of this region. Lies 33-degree counterclockwise to the plus R minus Y, that is at an angle 57 degree with respect to the color burst. A bandwidth of 1.5 megahertz is used. Now Q signal, the human eye is the less sensitive to the colors of this region at an angle 147 degrees with respect to the color burst, hence a bandwidth of 0.5 megahertz is sufficient. Now bandwidth reduction, double sideband transmission for Q signal, that is the LSB is equal to the minus 0.5 and USB is equal to the plus 0.5. The bandwidth is equal to the 1 megahertz. I signal USB is equal to the plus 0.5 megahertz and LSB is equal to the minus 1.5 megahertz. Bandwidth is equal to the 2 megahertz. Both I and Q are the active up to 0.5 megahertz. Q dropped out after 0.5 megahertz and only I remains between 0.5 megahertz to the 1.5 megahertz to produce the colors. Bandwidth of the 2 megahertz is used for tone signal, saving the bandwidth of 1 megahertz compared to 3 megahertz if R minus Y and B minus Y directly transmitted. Reduce the bandwidth helps in the minimizing interference with the sound and picture signals. NTSC system, the selection of the color subcarrier. So in the NTSC standards, we'll discuss now the selection of the color subcarrier, how we can select the color subcarrier. Color subcarrier is the selected considering the following. CSC, that is color signal, must be an odd multiple of the half line frequency, that is 2n plus 1 into 15,750 upon 2. Hence 2 into 227 plus 1 into 1570 upon 2 equal to 3.583125 megahertz would have been used. However, the CSC, that is the color subcarrier, and sound carrier needs to give an interference at 0.92 megahertz. To minimize this interference, sound carrier frequency must be an even multiple of line frequency. Sound carrier is fixed at 4.5 megahertz. Due to the compatibility reason, line frequency is fixed at 4.5 megahertz upon 286. That is the 15,734.26 hertz, which is close to the 15,750 hertz. 525 upon 2 lines get scanned per field. Field frequency is made at 15,734.26 upon 262.5 equal to the 59.94 hertz. Slight difference of the 15.74 hertz in the FH and 0.06 hertz in FV. No much effect on synchronizations. Therefore, the CSC color subcarrier system is equal to the 2 into 227 plus 1 equal to the 15,734.26, that is the 3.579545 megahertz is used. So this is the color subcarrier frequency. To obtain the exact color subcarrier frequency, a crystal controlled oscillator is used. So this is the NTSC carrier and bandwidth requirement. How much bandwidth is required for luminous carrier and chrominous carrier and the audio signals. Total bandwidth is the 6 megahertz for NTSC system, and including the guard band of 250 kilohertz. Now, block diagram of the NTSC coder transmitter. So this is the complete block diagram of NTSC coder system, which is used to transmit the signal from transmitter antenna in the 6 gigahertz channel bandwidth. So color signal is transmitted through this in the form of the I and Q form of color subcarrier. This is the block diagram of the NTSC receiver system. In this receiver, again, we have used the super heterodyne type of receivers, and we have a color signal, that is the red, green, and blue. So 3 different signal is produced, and the antenna is used to receive the signal. So this is the complete block diagram of NTSC receiver. Now, color killer circuit, when this circuit is on, it biases off the chrome band pass amplifier during the monochrome reception. It prevents the any spurious signal in the pass band of the chrome amplifier from appearing the demodulated during the monochrome receptions. This colored interference is known as quantity. A DC bias is generated at a FEC circuit if the color burst present, which can switch off the color killer circuit. Color killer is the on for monochrome reception and off for color reception. Receiver recognize a color or bandwidth signal by the presence of absence of the color burst signal. Now we have some disadvantages of the NTSC system. So this system has some drawback. So we'll discuss again the drawback of the NTSC system. Be highly sensitive to the transmission path difference, causes the phase errors, which can cause the error in the picture colors. Phase difference can occur while switching between the different cameras. Phase is also changed when the signal passes through the different circuit elements. Now I am discussing with you that is the PAL system, which is the next color TV standards, after discussing the NTSC system, which is used in the American countries, PAL system is used in the Asian countries or European countries. So it is known as the phase alteration line. The weighted color difference signal, that is the R minus Y and B minus Y, are used and called V and U respectively. So V equal to the 0.877 R minus Y, U equal to the 0.493 B minus Y. U and V signals are at a phase difference of 90 degrees. Both U and V signals are at 90-degree phase difference. In order to eliminate the phase error, the phase of V signal is reversed in every alternate lines. Hence the name phase alternating line, phase alternating line system or switching burst. Both U and V have the same bandwidth, that is the 1.3 megahertz. Chrome signal is the vestigial sideband, upper sideband of 0.57 megahertz. Lower sideband is the 1.3 megahertz. The phase of the V modulator is inverted at every alternating line. The color burst has the two components, that is the minus B minus Y component and plus minus R minus Y component. So these are the two color burst difference signal in the PAL system. The resultant color burst has a phase shift of the plus minus 45 degrees about the minus B minus Y axis. Now the selection of the color subcarrier frequencies. F is the stand for the frequency. Subcarrier is an odd multiple of H upon 4. To this, a factor of Fp upon 2 is the added to provide the phase reversal on successive field, that is the 25 Hz minus Fsc equal to the 2 into 567 plus 1. Fh upon 4 plus Fb upon 2 equal to 1135 into 15625 upon 4 plus 25. So Fse is equal to the 4.43361.875 megahertz. So in the case of the color TV system, that is the PAL color system, we have the color subcarrier frequency is the 4.43361.875 megahertz. Allows the better cancellation of dot pattern interference. The PAL color burst, this is the phasor diagram of PAL color burst signal, U and V signals, which is the 90-degree apart from each other. Now resultant burst phase for line N is from 45 degrees. This is the PAL signal bandwidth diagram. So in the PAL system, we follow the 7 megahertz bandwidth, and this figure shows that the guard band, that is the 250 kilohertz, and luminous carrier at the 1.25 megahertz, and chrominous carrier at the 4.43361.875 megahertz, and audio carriers. So we have the total frequency bandwidth for the PAL system is the 7 megahertz. hertz. Cancellation of the phase errors. So in the case of cancellation of the phase error, this is the phasor diagram. First is the no phase error. And second, and show the subcarrier phasor on two consecutive lines whilst third is the depicts location of the resultant phasors at demodulators. Note that the phasor U plus JV chosen for this illustration represents a near magenta shades. This is the figure B, cancellation of the phase errors. PAL D system. This is the in the PAL D system we have U and V output of UVD modulators, and it has some adder and subtractor. This is the PAL coder or transmitter section. Uh, how the signal is transmitted in the case of the PAL transmitter section. So this is the complete block diagram shows that the PAL transmitter section. This is the PAL D receiver. So antenna is received and tuned for VHF and UHF frequencies, and we have a RF type of the super heterodyne receiver for the audio and video signals. So in the receiver signal, color signal is developed in the form of D minus Y, G minus Y, R minus Y. Three color text signal is developed, and this signal is given to the picture tubes. So this is the PAL receiver diagram. This is the again another type of the PAL receivers. Now we have a new type of the color TV standard, that is the SECAM, sequential color A memory, or sequential color with memory. It is used in the French. In the SECAM, only one of the color difference signal is transmitted at a time, that is the during the one line. The other color difference signal is transmitted during the next line because of the odd number of the lines per picture. If nth line carries, that is R minus Y signal during the one picture, it will carry the B minus Y signal during the scanning of the following picture. A delay line of the 64 microsecond is used as a memory to produce both the color signals available simultaneously. The determination of proper sequence of color line is done by identification pulses. SECAM third, the one variant of the SECAM commonly used, that is uses the 625 lines 50 pins with the channel bandwidth of the 8 megahertz. So there is the difference in the three schemes in the bandwidth. In the NTSC we used 6 megahertz, in the PAL we used 7 megahertz, and SECAM used 8 megahertz channel bandwidth. Sound carrier at the 5.5 megahertz. Weighted color difference signal are called dr is equal to the 1.9 R minus Y, and dB is equal to the 1.5 B minus Y. So FM is used for the sound color subcarrier, and hence phase changes does not produce URRs. The weighting factor for R minus Y is minus 1.9. The color subcarrier is at 4.4375 megahertz. However, for suppressing the dot pattern in the picture, two separate subcarriers are used: 4.40625 for R minus Y and 4.25 0 megahertz for B minus Y, 272H and 282H. In the next, we have a color difference signal, that is the bandwidth is the color difference signal bandwidth is 1.5 megahertz. The pre-emphasize is used before the AFM. A second level of the pre-emphasis is done, known as the high frequency pre-emphasize. This increases the amplitude of the signal and improves the signal to noise ratio. Switching between DR and DB take place during the line synchronization. Pulse and line identification signals are used to identify and proper switching of the color lines. This is the CCAM order or transmitter section, how the signal is processed and transmitted through the CCAM order and transmitter section. So through this block diagram, we are able to understand the concept of transmitter. This is the CCAM decoder. Here the signal is decoded from the antenna, and composite video signal is received by antenna and is decoded, and the Y signal and DR and DB signal is produced by the circuitry, and finally to amplifier and make matrix signal is the VR, VG and VB, which is applied to the picture tubes. Now we have the advantages of CCAM. Because of the FM, CCAM receivers are immune to phase distortion. Since only one chrome signal at a time, there is no possibility of crosstalk between the chrome signals. No need for QAM at transmitter. No need for separate manual hue and saturation control. Due to the above, CCAM receivers are simple and cheap. Now we have some disadvantages for the CCAM scheme. The vertical resolution is inferior because one line signal combines with the other to retrieve the color. Luminance is represented by the amplitude of a signal and saturation by frequency deviation. In case of signal fade out, the luminance may be attenuated, but chrome not affected. This may make color more saturated during the fade out. Digitizing CCAM is difficult since only one color difference signal is available at a time. Now we have some multiple choice question on the basis of the color TV picture tubes and the color TV standards. So first type of the multiple choice question: which type of the amplifiers are used in the high level transmitter? A class C amplifier, B class A amplifier, C no amplifier used, and D none of the above. Question number 2: in the digital TV, ADC conversion is done by A pulse code modulated system, B DPCM, C delta modulation, D adaptive delta modulation. In a TV receiver set, sound and video signals are separated at the A video detector, B video amplifier, C sync separator, D IF stage. The three primary colors in the chrominance signal of a color TV are A red, green, orange, B red, green, blue, C blue, green, magenta, D yellow, green, cyan. Next multiple choice question, that is the fifth question. A television system having the that is the n is equal to the 525 and p is equal to the 25 frames per second has a horizontal sync frequency of a 50, b 15,625, c 625, d 525. This is the based on the NTSC scheme or NTSC system. Next, the signals sent by the TV transmitter to ensure correct scanning in the receiver are called A. Sync, B. Home signal, C. Luminance, and D. Video signal. Next, seventh question. The interlacing is used in the TV frames to A. Reduce the illusion of the motion. B. Ensure the scanning of all lines. C. Avoid the flicker. D. Avoid the humming. Question number 8. The separation of the sound and the picture carriers in our TV system is in the megahertz, that is the A is equal to the 5.5 megahertz, B 4.5, C 6, and D 5. Question number 9. The equalizing pulses in the TV are sent during A. Horizontal blanking, B. Vertical blanking, C. Horizontal retrace, D. Flickering. If a normal line sync pulse width is 4.7, its width of equalizing pulse is its A 4.6, B 2.3, C 9.2, D 1.5. So the conclusion of today's video lecture is that today we have discussed the important part of TV receiver system. So the picture tubes is the very much important part of TV receiver system. Uh, this picture tube is convert the electrical voltage signal into the image. So in this video lecture, we have discussed three type of the picture tube. That is the delta gun, phase in line, and one more trinitron picture tubes. After that, we have discussed the different color TV standards. In this different color TV standard, we have discussed the NTSC scheme or PAL phase alternating line and SECAM sequential color memory. So all three standards are used by different countries. So today we have discussed these color TV system standards and some multiple choice question. So our main objective of this video lecture is fulfill that the student will understand the picture tube and color TV picture tubes, and they will understand the concept and construction of the color tube and picture tubes. They will also understand and differentiate the three scheme of the color TV standards which is used in worldwide. Thank you.